Hi, today we're looking at Functional Skills Maths Entry Level 3. This is the Open Awards exam board and we're going to start with the non-calculator section. Question 1. Work out 53 times 8. Well, you can do this using the column method. So we can do 3 times 8, 8, 16, 24. Or if you prefer, you can do 8 threes. So you can do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So same answer, you just go through your 3 times table instead of your 8 times table. So put the 4, carry the 2. And then, well, whichever way around you want to do it, 5 8s or 8 5s. It's probably easier 8 5s. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, plus the 2, 42, so we get 424. Now, instead of doing it with the column, what you can think of, you can think that 53 times 8 is the same as doing 58s and then 3 8s and adding them together. Now, essentially it's the same that we're doing here, it's just a different way of thinking of it. And some people find that the column method just a bit confusing. So if you prefer it this way, you're then saying, right, I've got 50 times 8. Well, we can ignore the 0 to start with, and we do 5 times 8, which is what we did before. So you would get 5 times 8 is equal to 40, and then we just put the 0 on the end. And then over here, 3 times 8, well, again, we did that earlier. You could do 3 times 8 or 8 times 3. You end up with 24. So now 400 plus 24. If you want to write it as a column, you can, but hopefully you'll see that that's still going to get you 424. You see, you don't have to do the column method. It just tends to be the way that we do it, but you know, there's other methods that work as well. Okay. Question 2. Jadon is dancing in a show. This is the timetable for the show. So we've got the order of activities, we've got group dances, a break, solo dances, award presentation, and the time taken. So the group dances take 25 minutes, there's a 10-minute break, 20 minutes for solo dances, and 15 minutes for the award presentation. The show starts at 7 p.m. Jadon's dance will be the first solo dance. What time will his dance start? Show your calculations below. Well, so he's in the solo dances, so he's going to be in here, and it's the first solo dance. So in other words, we don't actually need these times, because this is how long the solo dances will take, but we want to know when his dance will start. So in other words, it's after the group dances and the break. So what we need to do is know how long these are going to take in total, and then work out the time after these have taken place. So we've got 25 minutes for the group dances and 10 minutes for the break. So 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 1 is 3. So we've got 35 minutes. Well, if the show starts at 7 p.m, we've got 7 p.m, and we're adding on 35 minutes. So it's just going to be 0 plus 5 is 5, 0 plus 3 is 3, so we're going to have 7:35 p.m. Question 3. The list shows the money made this year from ticket sales, programme sales and refreshments. So 3 separate things, 3 different prices. How much money has been made in total from these sales this year? Okay, so we're going to need to add up these 3 values here. So what I can do is put a line underneath, put our add. So start with the far right, 0 plus 0 plus 0, 0. 5 plus 5, so we start with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 0 is still 10. So put the 0 and then carry the 1. I carry my 1 here, but you can write it up here or down here, it doesn't matter. Keep the decimal point lined up. 5 plus 7 plus 8. Well, it's good to try and see what order to do them. I like to add up the larger numbers first. So if we start with 8 and add on the 7, so start with 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I know if we add 5 to 15, that's going to take me up to 20. And the 1 we carried will make it 21. So put the 1, carry the 2. Now we've got 2 plus 2 plus 7 and another 2. So again, let's start with the 7. Plus 2, 8, 9. Another 2, 10, 11. Another 2, 12, 13. So put the 3 and carry the 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. And another 1 is 6. And another 1 is 7. So the total we're getting is going to be £731. So we don't need the 0.00. It's not wrong, you can put it in, but we don't need it there. Okay, question 4. What is 178 minus 149? So again, we can go straight for the column method. Minus 149. Now if you do it this way, well, 8 take away 9, we can't take 9 away from 8 because 8's bigger. So what we need to do is take 1 from the 7, so reduce that to a 6, and pass 1 over to make that 18. Then we want 18 take away 9, so if we go backwards from 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. So it leaves us with 9. 6 minus 4, so start with 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So we just get an answer of 29. Okay, if you want to try and avoid this sort of thing, instead of taking away, you can count up instead. So we're finding the difference between these numbers. We can start with 149 and think, well, how much do we need to take it up to a sort of nice round number? Well, if we do one more, 149, that's going to take it up to 150. And then if we still go for round numbers, well, next we want to get up to 170. So if we were 150, 160, 170, so that's going to be adding on an extra 20 to take it up to 170. And then to get us all the way up to 178, we'll just add an extra 8. So this is just an alternative. So you wouldn't do both ways. You can do it this way or this way. And what we've done here, to get up to 178, we've essentially added the 1, the 20, and the 8. So if we think we've got 20 plus 1 plus 8, 8 plus 1 is 9, 2 plus nothing is 2. So we get the same answer, just a different way of looking at it. We've got question 5. This is a plan of the stage and the seating for the show. Let's move it up. So we've got seating area A down here, seating area B, seating area C at the bottom, seating area D. We've got the stage in the middle and the entrance over on the left. And then we're told there are 586 seats in total in seating areas A, B, C and D. There are 292 seats altogether in seating areas A and D. So A and D, that's 292. And there are 142 seats in seating area B. 142. How many seats are there in seating area C? Well, if we add the 292 to the 142, that's going to give us the total number of seats in A, B and D. If we then take that total away from the entire number, or the entire total, using total a lot, but the maximum of all the seats we've got, what we're going to be left with will be the seats in area C. So let's do that first of all. So 292 plus 142. 2 plus 2 is 4. 9 plus 4, we'll start with the 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 3 carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus another 1 is 4. So that is the total for A, B, and D. Okay, so now we said to find C, what we want is our total, and we want to subtract the areas A, B, and D. So 6, take away 4. So start with 6. We go 5, 4, 3, 2. So let's move up here. 2 here. 8, take away 3. So start with 8, 7, 6, 5. And 5 take away 4. Or we can say actually, well, 5 is 1 more than 4. So we're going to get a total of 152 seats. Okay, so now we're on to the calculator section. Okay, so you can get your calculator handy. I've got mine here that I'm going to be using. Right, so let's have a look. Question 6. Let's move it up so we can see. Right. Jayden is on stage facing seating area B. So he's looking that way. He does a clockwise quarter turn. Okay. Use the stage plan to work out which seating area he is now facing. Okay. So he does a clockwise. Well, the clock goes this way, so it's going to be a clockwise turn, and it's a quarter turn. Well, a half turn would be going all the way around so he faces the opposite direction. So a quarter turn is going to be to here. Okay, because if you think of this as like a big circle, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. So a quarter turn, that means he's now going to be facing this way, which is seating area D. There we go. Okay, question 7. Complete the sequence of numbers below. So we've got 9, 18, 27. Well, with these, it's always good to see what the gap between the numbers is. And we've got our calculator we can use. So to find the difference between them, we're going to do the bigger number, the 18, minus 9. And we get a difference of 9. So what we're saying is we're adding on 9 there. What about from the 18 to the 27? So we need to go backwards again. So 27 minus 18. So this is adding on 9. So basically we're adding 9 each time. And we can check it because we know what to end up at the end. So if we start with 27, if we add 9, that should be 36. Add another 9, 45. Add another 9, 54. Add another 9, 63. And if we've done it correctly, if we add another 9, it should give us 72. And it does. Okay, question 8. The leisure centre has 5 swimming pools. And we've got the length of each of them. Now what you notice here is we've got different units. We've got millimetres for this one, centimetres, metres, centimetres again, and another millimetres. Hanif wants to swim in the longest pool. What is the length of the longest pool? Okay, well, what we want to do is get all of these measurements to be in the same units. Okay, and when you're converting things, you kind of want to convert as few as possible, just because it's quicker. So we've got 2 measurements in millimetres, 2 in centimetres, 1 in metres. So maybe if we go, well, centimetres are halfway, well, not halfway, but centimetres are bigger than millimetres, but smaller than metres. So I'm thinking, well, maybe let's get everything in centimetres. So I know that there are 10 millimetres in 1 centimetre. So if I want to turn this into centimetres, millimetres are smaller than centimetres, so we're going to need to divide because we're going to have fewer centimetres. So if we're dividing by 10, we can use the calculator, but we're just going to be taking a 0 off. So we're going to have 740 centimetres. Okay, so this is now in centimetres. This one's in centimetres, which is fine. We can leave it there. This one's in metres. Well, I know that there's 100 centimetres in 1 metre. So if we want to turn it to centimetres, we need to multiply by 100. So again, you can use your calculator, but if we multiply by 100, if we've got 8 hundreds, it's just going to be 800 centimetres. This next one we've got in centimetres already, that's fine. And the final one is millimetres again. So again, we're going to go to centimetres, so we're going to have fewer of them. And because there's 10 millimetres in a centimetre, we're going to need to divide it by 10 again. So as I say, we can, look, let's do it with the calculator. 8,100 divided by 10. It should be the same as just taking a 0 off. And it is 810 centimetres. Now, Hanif wants to swim in the longest pool. Well, I'm going to do, just so it's easier to compare the numbers, I'm just going to rewrite these ones out here. 750. So we want the longest. Well, these are 700s, so it's not going to be either of those because 800's more. We've got 850. 800 would be less. 810. Well, it's more than 800, but it's still less than 850. So the length of the longest pool, well, it's going to be 850 centimetres. Question 9. Hanif hopes to raise £650 from sponsors. He has raised £322.60 online and £247.85 in cash. How much more must he raise to reach £650? Well, what we want to do first of all is find out how much he's raised in total so far. So if we do £322.60 plus the £247.85, 322.60 plus 247.85, we've got 570.45. So that's our total. Okay, how much more does he need to raise? Well, it's how much more do we need to get up to 650? So if we think backwards, I think we'll start from 650, take away 570.45. And you can type this in, or you can put it in your memory. So now we're saying 650 take away, and this is where we can use the memory, or you could just type this number straight in. And we get 79.55, and it's money. So we put our pound sign in there. Question 10. Hanif wants to buy some goggles. He chooses a pair of goggles that cost £8.80. He sees a special offer on this pair of goggles, and a special offer 1/4 off the price of swimming goggles. Hanif thinks the goggles will cost £6. Is Hanif correct? Explain your answer. Okay, well, let's work out what 1/4 of this is. So we do 1/4, so in other words it's 1 divided by 4 times £8.80. So 1/4 of £8.80. So we can do that with the calculator. 1 divided by 4 times £8.80. And that gives us 2.2, but remember this is money, so we put a 0 on to make it £2.20. But it's 1/4 off, so we need to take that away from the £8.80 that was the original price. Okay. So again, we can. I've cleared the memory, so we can put that in our memory again. So £8.80. We don't need to put the 0 at the end on these calculations for the calculator, as long as we're writing them down. So £8.80 minus £2.20 gives us 6.6. But remember, it's money, so it's going to be £6.60. Hanif thinks the goggles will cost £6. Is Hanif correct? Well, £6.60 is not equal to £6. So is Hanif correct? No. And the explain your answer, well, we can say the special offer price is £6.60, not £6. Okay. Right. So we've got Meg's dog weighs 22 kilograms. I think we're on to, yeah, this is question 11, but for some reason it's not printed that out. So let's put question 11 up. Okay. So we've got Meg's dog weighs 22 kilograms. She needs to know how much to feed her dog. She uses this weight chart below to help her. Okay, so we've got if the dog's weight is between 10 and 14 kilograms, we need 320 tins, between 15 and 19, 480 tins, and so on. And there are 12 tins in each pack. How many packs will Meg need to buy for a year? Well, first of all, we need to know how many tins she's going to need to buy. Well, if a dog weighs 22 kilograms, 22 is going to be in here, between 20 and 24. So she's going to need 640 tins. If there's 12 in each pack, well, how many packs? So what we're saying is how many times does 12 go into 640? Or in other words, 640 divided by 12. So if we do that, we get 53.33. That keeps going, or recurring. Okay, now, but how many packs? We can't buy 0.333 of a pack. If we only buy 53 packs, that's not enough. So we're going to need to buy the next whole number, which will be 54 packs. And we'll just have a bit more than we need. Part B. A month later, the vet weighs the dog. He has gained 100 grams in weight. Meg thinks he now weighs over 23 kilograms. Is Meg correct? Explain your answer. Well, if everything we've been working in so far has been in kilograms. Now, there's 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. So if we want to turn this from grams into kilograms, we're going to need to do 100 divided by 1,000. If we do 100 divided by 1,000, we get 0.1 kilogram. So if we were starting, if you remember, Meg's dog weighs 22 kilograms at the start. So we've got 22 plus this extra 0.1. We've got the 0.1, add on the 22. We've got 22.1 kilograms. She thinks it's over 23. Well, no, that's less than 23 kilograms. So is Meg correct? No. He weighs only 22.1 kilogram, which is less than 23 kilograms. And it's nice to write this out because it's showing you fully understand. You're not just doing the numbers, you actually understand what it is we're trying to do. Okay, so question 12. So again, for some reason, it's got the question title on the next page. So let's write question 12 up here. Okay, the dog walks 1.25 kilometres every day. That's km, kilometres. How far does he walk in a week? Well, in a week, we've got 7 days. So we're going to have 7 lots of 1.25. 7 times 1.25 is 8.75. Our units have stayed the same, so we're still in kilometres. Question 13. The dog's water bowl holds 400 millilitres when full. He should drink half a litre of water each day. Will he need more water in the bowl before the end of the day? Give a reason for your answer. Well, half a litre. Well, I know that 1 litre is 1,000 millilitres. So half a litre, well, that's going to be 1,000 divided by 2. So 1,000, oh, too many zeros, 1,000 divided by 2, and we've got 500 millilitres. Will he need more water in the bowl before the end of the day? Well, he's only got 400 millilitres in the bowl. He needs 500, so yes, he will. So we can say, yes, he needs 500 millilitres. But the bowl only holds 400 millilitres. Okay, question 14. Okay, Sam manages a charity shop. She makes a table to show when staff work. So we've got each day of the week, and we've got the morning shifts, so we've got 2 people each morning, and the afternoon shifts, 2 people working each afternoon shift. Complete the frequency table to show the number of shifts worked by each staff member. Write your answer below. Okay, so how many shifts does Jill do? Well, I'm going to work through one at a time and count them up. So we've got 1 for Jill, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5. So I'm crossing them off so I don't do any double counting or missing any out. Who we got next? Aisha. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Just 3 for Aisha. How many for Sam? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many for 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many for Bob? 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I've done this correctly, we should have everything crossed off, nothing missed. Looks good to me. Question 15. Aisha decides to keep a running total of all the hours she works at the shop. Complete the table to show her running totals for week 5. So in the first week, worked 9.5 hours, so the total was 9.5. The next week, she worked 9.5 hours again, so the running total is 19. So to get the 19, what they've done is said, well, we were starting with 9.5, and then we add another 9.5 on to get the 19. And then we did the same for the next week, add another 9.5, gets us to 28.5, add another 9.5 to get to 38. So for this missing one, we need to add on 9.5 again, which gives us 47.5. Okay, question 16. Complete the table to show the rounded amounts. All right, so we're rounding, amount rounded to the nearest pound. So these are the pounds. So we look at the first digit afterwards. So if it's a 5 or more, we're going to go up to the next number. If it's less than 5, we keep it as it is. Okay, and we don't care about the digits afterwards. It's just this first digit after the pounds that we're looking at. So with this one, 57.6, it's So it's 5 or more, so we round it up to 58, which is what they've done. For 85, we look at this digit. Well, that's less than 5, so we just keep it £85. 53, that's the pounds. We look at the 5. Well, 5 or more. So, well, this is 5, so we're going to round it up to £54. £84, 1, that's less than 5, so we're just going to keep it at £84. 108, that's the pounds. 0.9, 5 or more, so it goes up, so this is going to increase to a 9, a 96.6, so again this is 5 or more, so we're going to round that up to £97. Okay. Question 17. Sam records the amount of money received from sales on each day of the week over 10 weeks. The table shows her results. Okay, so for Monday we had £790 over 10 weeks, Tuesday £690, and so on. Sam thinks more money is received on Mondays. Is Sam correct? Monday's 790. Well, let's compare it to Tuesday. Well, yes, 790 is more than 690. 790 is more than 728. 790, or 791, this is more. Okay, so is Sam correct? No. And we can say, on Thursday, a total amount for sales was £791, which is more than 790. And we're on to the final question. 4-mark question here. Question 18. Sam wants to show staff how sales of different items compare. She makes a list of the sales of these items from one day. This is her list. So she's got books, clothes and games, and the amount of the sales. Create a graph or chart to show this information in numerical order. Okay, so if it's in numerical order, well, which is the smallest? Well, 27 is the smallest, then games, so then 38, and 43 is the biggest. Okay, so we've got to work out how we're going to fit this on here. So we've got 3 categories, so I'm going to start down in this corner here. How much space do we want to use for each bar? Well, let's think 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 of these for each one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter too much as long as they're the same width. And we want to be using at least half of the graph paper. So I'm going to use my ruler here to get a nice straight line. Now we wanted them in numerical order. So which was the smallest? So we had books first, then games, then clothes. So I'm going to have books, games, clothes. And we need a sort of heading for these. So these are types of item. Now we need the amounts. Well, we want to know what the biggest amount is. So that's 43. And that's going to have to fit up here. So maybe let's just count the boxes. Each of these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So we want to go at least as high as our biggest value. So I think if we go up to 50, and that just fits in nicely as well. So we'll draw a line down here. So for books, we had a value of £27. So let's find 27 for books. Here's 20, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's our first column. For games, we had £38. So this is 30. So 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we want it to go the full width, which is to here. Let's bring this up so we can see. We're taking it all the way down. And then for clothes, we had £43. So let's move it across 43. So 40, 1, 2, 3. And move that up. Okay. Now, normally for a bar chart, you wouldn't change the order of the items, but because they've asked for it in numerical order, we've needed to on this one. Okay, so that's our bar chart, and we can just put a title, which let's call it Sales from one day. Okay, so that's your graph. So it doesn't all fit on the screen, but there you go. Hopefully you got the idea. And that's the end of the paper. So I hope you liked it. Please like, subscribe to the channel, have your notifications on so you know when I upload more videos, add any comments, and best of luck with your exams and hope to see you all soon. Thank you.